A group of yam farmers dotted around Zambia have launched a campaign to promote the crop to reduce food insecurity at household level. With the support from a social enterprise and the Ministry of Agriculture, the yam farmers are on firm ground to grow their business. On this edition of News in Depth, we look at the mobilization of yam farmers. I'm your host, Musonda. Stay tuned. Zambia's nutrition and agricultural policies recognize the need to increase and diversify production of nutritious foods to tackle hunger and improve diets. The country's top food security crop is maize, followed by cassava, and most government agricultural funding is spent promoting these crops. But this has not reduced food insecurity in the most vulnerable farming households. Some farmers are of the view that growing a variety of foods, including yams, will improve diets and overall food security. But how well people are able to adapt to climate change will depend upon many factors, such as the adoption of improved agricultural technologies and management strategies. This is the case with young farmers as they strive to add value to Zambia's crop diversification drive. The farmers are being mobilized by a social enterprise in Lusaka, Monkey Orange Crafts. And farmers trained here are hopping from one yam to another, monkey style, to extend their fields. Close to 1,000 farmers have so far benefited from the seminars conducted by the enterprise in the last 3 years. I found time to visit this enterprise's office in Zanimone Township in Lusaka, and as this local name implies, I see for myself how farmers are being trained to grow yams. A stroll in the demonstration field reveals yams are plants we have lived with, and the names are familiar.
Yes. In America it's called the air potato, but locally others say called area yam. It's from the leaf. The shape of the leaf here, it looks like the ear of an elephant. And this is not food, it's poison. So we are putting up awareness to the small-scale farmers so that they should see between the difference of cocoyam and elephant here.
Where is cocoyam now?
This is cocoyam. One of the difference is the veins for cocoyam are visible, while for elephant ear they are not visible. The tuber is very good food.
The leaves?
The leaves, very nice vegetables. So for yam, like this type, we call it top and bottom, because you can make mealy meal from the tuber, and also you can have the vegetables up. The ground yam, this is also indigenous. This is the biggest tuber. And at a good management, you can have up to 25 kg on just this plant. But this one is a tuber, it grows down. The interesting part is this yam was planted in 2016. Here we are trying to compare. If you leave a maize like this, you cannot leave maize for a season. But for yam, you can leave maize or yam on the ground for even 10 or more than 10 years. So part of also a storage, you can store yam on the ground. Makunkutu is a Bemba name, which means I think something to do with the fingers or lepros, finger yam, because it just looks like fingers. This is one of the wild yam, which is consumed in a situation that there's hunger, like in some areas because of the climate change. So this type of yam, it's toxic. You have to eat it under instruction. What I mean is you have to cook it the whole day. You keep on draining water, and then until you reduce the toxic part, that's when you eat. So we are planting this yam to show to the small-scale farmers the difference between ground yam, finger yam, wild yam, and air potato, because it's important they should know. Because some of the people, they've just seen the wild yam, and then the conclusion was, no, the yams are toxic. So these are some of the things, these are some of the skills that we are sharing with the small-scale farmers on yam production.
These plants can be found in the community and around offices as flowers. These children play around here and do not even know this is food. Their parents have a slight idea but do not take yams seriously. Selling vegetables?
Yes.
But do you know that you have some other vegetable outside there?
Which vegetables?
Like cocoyam.
But we don't know how to use them.
Like cassava, yam in this country has for a long time been deemed the poor man's tuber. Cassava has now graduated from that category. But can yam farmers follow the example of their colleagues growing cassava? Dr. Patrick Chikoti is Chief Agricultural Officer, Plant Protection in Quarantine at the Zambia Agriculture Institute in Chilanga District, says it is possible. What you've done for cassava, is it possible to do it for yam?
Yes, since yam, like any other vegetative crop, it can be treated in the same way as we are treating cassava. Cassava is a flagship to other root crops. So we hope in the near future do as much as we can, like for the sweet potato and also for the yam. We want to mass produce these other crops so that the farmers can benefit. Okay, the farmers, what they can do is through their cooperatives, form cooperatives, and then contact ZARI for technical help, and we are ready to help those young farmers out there.
Monkey Orange Crafts also sensitizes farmers on the need to add yams to other tubers under production. These yams on this demonstration plot are some of the local varieties in Zambia. During training, farmers come to know how yam seed is sorted and graded. The other practical part is on field preparation. Land is cleared and then mounds are made and planting of the yam seed follows. Yams can be harvested twice in a year. During the first harvest, the yam is carefully detached from the main plant and the space it occupied is buried, leaving the creeper to continue growing. When the leaves turn brown and start drying up, it is time to harvest the second set of yams.
Yes. So as it can be seen here, it's now ready, it's harvested now. It can show when the leaves, you can show that they are dry, then it can show that it's ready.
These farmers also take part in agricultural and commercial shows.
We have yes, we have these green leaves in here. These are very nice vegetables that will not compare to cabbage or leaf. You know, cooking is an art. So there are so many ways that you can prepare these vegetables. These are the products that we have. We boil them and we drain. These are the leaves for the ground yam, the cocoa yam. The one which is almost like an elephant ear. This is yam coffee. So we have blended it with some bit of soybeans so that we get a vitamin A from the soybeans. We have the yam jam. Here it's a combination of tomato and yam. I also like the instant porridge. It's blended with millet, but a good number of it it's yam.
This is yam powder. It can be used to make shima either after mixing it with mealie meal or just by itself. Thus, yam products can be blended with other products to increase value. During agricultural and commercial shows, yam farmers usually showcase their various products. The yam stand attracts ordinary showgoers and public figures. First Republican President Kenneth Kaunda had time to visit these farmers. The late President Levi Patrick Mwanawasa was another visitor. But President Edgar Lungu has been a regular visitor and automatically a crowd puller. And what do you expect when the head of state appreciates the products, asks more questions, and even gets a bonus for being the most frequent visitor? This time, President Lungu had been singing crop diversification, and the yam farmers took advantage of these encounters to make a plea for land for yam seed multiplication to meet demand countrywide. On hand was Agriculture Minister Michael Katambo to confirm it was possible to support the yam farmers. This interaction led to Monkey Orange Crafts carving out a memorandum of understanding with the Minister of Agriculture. Through the Minister of Agriculture, Members of Elusa Alliance, Yam Farming Zambia, and the Monkey Orange Crafts have been given an opportunity to do seed multiplication and other activities at Kembe Farm Institute in Chombo district in Central Province. The yam farmers had time to inspect this land under the supervision of officers at Kembe Farm Institute. The land is vast, natural and fertile. It also takes a person with a hunter's heart to trek through this land and its natural vegetation. It is one thing to be given land with so much potential and another to utilize it. However, the young farmers have shown that they are capable of putting this land to good use. Mr. Goodson Kalolo, a retired auto mechanic, is a young farmer in Kasese area of Chongwe district. I visit him together with a team of officials from Monkey Orange Crafts.
Show you where we start from, once we start planting. Maybe we can keep on talking, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
This was the first plant.
Starting from where?
It started from here to, about 20 lines. These were planted in October. I planted the first week of October. I planted this. October. Second was November. Third was December.
The farmer has 2 water wells, meaning that he can grow yams all year round. He also makes his own natural fertilizer.
This bag, I put different types of manure. There's a cow dung, there's a chicken manure, there's a goat manure.
In the same bag?
Yes. You have to put my portions, of all that. You have, Grisidia. These are now the shrubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You put them in, and you soak as you have done. And after 7 days, it starts changing the color. You can use it. After 7 days, you can spray on the leaves. 7 days, it's not, Macari one. You can use on the leaves. As a foliar fertilizer. But after 14 days, then you trench. You put on the roots. Because it's now, condensed.
While farmers like Mr. Kalalo have gone it alone, others are in cooperatives. This is Tujatani Multipurpose Cooperative Society in Kawango area in Chombo district. Today they are discussing yams. The new members are anxious to learn and there is positive interaction.
So this cocoa yam and then ground yam and area yam, you need to learn first, go for training.
Due to lack of common land, this group in Katuba constituency sought the help of a fellow farmer from another cooperative society nearby Matero constituency in Lusaka's Ballaston area. A visit to their communal land reveals well-tended plants feeding on manure as fertilizer, and the host had this to say.
We've been having some few days here, so they actually saw an opportunity as well to try and do yam here to see if it can also do well. I think you can see behind me, I think this yam is coming up well, hoping to have a good harvest from it. About 0.7 hectares of land. This is where we are doing. So this variety here you are seeing, it's called Kafue variety. We can't wait. If we can see result from yam, I think we will take an opportunity to also do the yam here, because I know the soils here are actually more fertile than where the yam is, so it will
is
do
that
well.
so?
Yes, to definitely do well.
That's why it's so green.
Yes, it's very green. As you can see, it has actually started putting up flowers.
Purple,
yes, purple. Yes.
Yam farmers stress that their immediate emphasis is promoting food security at household level before going commercial. With the land for seed multiplication now available at Kembe and leeway given to cooperate with other agricultural training institutions, the Ministry of Agriculture, young farmers are on firm ground to promote their crop. But agricultural scientists advise that these farmers need to ensure their yams follow the route taken by another tuber, cassava. Young farmers need improved local varieties, which are early maturing, high yielding, and disease resistant. Cassava is second to maize as a food security crop in Zambia, mainly because its promoters opted for vegetative propagation of this crop or tissue culture. Dr. Patrick Chikoti, Chief Agricultural Officer, Plant Protection and Quarantine at Zambia Agricultural Research Institute, Zari in Chilanga District, says this is possible with the cooperation of Zari and other stakeholders. But what does it take to produce these plants aided by science? Senior Agricultural Officer, Plant Protection and Quarantine at the same institute, Matthias Tembo, takes me to the first room. Here, every visitor has to wear these shoe protectors and then put on a dust coat. Mr. Tembo explains that the cassava plant is first cut into tiny pieces.
The cassava plants, you see these are leaf plants from the cassava. And then you have these smaller stems, these that connect the leaf to the main stem. These are small ones. So these are cut from the cassava plants. So these are the materials because they have been cut from one plant. And you see there are several of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 15 of them. So these will be taken and then sterilized. So they will be put in a jig solution, sterilized of certain concentration. And then from there, they'll be placed on a media. The media is now to allow them to grow because they are still active. In this state where they are still active. So we just enhance their growth when we put them on a growing media. So the small plants that we cut, the small parts that we cut, the ones that we placed in the media or the fertilizer for them to grow, they have grown up to this level. So you see that from one cassava plant, we have about 15 of them in here. So over a period of 1 month or 2 months, we have such kind of plants. So we pick these plants now, take them into the field.
The plants are then transferred to trays.
Now we bring them into, we need to harden them because they are tender. They are more like a baby. They are more like babies. So we need to train them now to get into the harsh conditions. So we bring them onto these small trays. You see that they are now catching up. So they'll stay there for about 3-4 months, then transfer them into slightly bigger pots, so that now they grow into the stems. So from there, they straight away go into the fields. We expect these plants to reach at this stage within a period of 6 to 8 months.
The plants then grow and mature, and the results are amazing. The plants are healthy, big stems, leaves, and so are the tubers. There is a marked difference between an ordinary cassava plant and one that is vegetatively propagated.
Okay, the plants will be shipped to Mansa, Solwezi, and Kasama districts.
How many farmers?
So these plantlets, they are marked for farmers that have been selected in 5 camps in each of the 3 districts that I've mentioned. The farmers were selected by the cooperative and also Zambia Agricultural Research Institute together with the Citizenship and Economic Empowerment Commission officials. So that's the arrangement that was made.
How many farmers altogether?
Yeah. Altogether, in total, the number of farmers that were picked is 4,000 in each of the district.
When you started disbasing these cassava plants?
Okay, the cassava plants, we have started basing them. We started the last growing season, that's 2018-2019 growing season.
How many altogether are you expected to deliver?
In terms of the planting materials?
Yes.
We expected to ship about 100,000 in the coming season. Maybe it will even exceed the 100,000 plantlets.
Last season, how many did you disperse?
Last year we dispersed about 16,000 plantlets to Mansa Research Station for onward hardening. For hardening, they also do hardening at Mansa Research Station. So we dispersed about 16,000 plantlets.
Where did the money come from for the project?
Okay, for the project, the money is coming from Citizenship Economic Empowerment Commission. It's actually a loan from the African Development Bank. So the money comes through CEC.
How do the farmers pay back?
In terms of paying back, the farmers, once they harvest the cassava, they will deliver their roots to the bulking centers that have been put up by the CEC. These bulking centers, they are located in the some of the 5 camps in each of the districts. So once the roots are taken there, it will be for sale.
This definitely is a better route to take for yam seed production to be enhanced. And since the yam is now among the crops on the Farmer Input Support Program, promotion of this crop for food security is timely. It also means that yam farmers need to be well organized through cooperatives to benefit from the Farmer Input Support Program. It is good that a good number of farmers are keen on growing yam, primarily to promote food security at household level. With improved seed yam production, yam farmers need a reliable value chain, good cooperatives that are linked to service providers, new yam genotypes, yam virus disease diagnostics, and development of novel techniques for other high-ratio yam propagation, such as aeroponics and bioreactors. When that is achieved, it will be possible for the yam to take its position among key food security crops in Zambia. This is where we come to the end of this edition of News in Depth. You've been looking at the mobilization of yam farmers in Zambia. Join us next week for another exciting edition of the program. And remember to stay safe. I've been your host, Gershom Musonda.